All right, let's go over the settings that you want to have your Google Drive for Windows to be syncing to your drive online so it backs up everything that's on your computer that you want backed up. So first thing is to locate the Google Drive for desktop or for Windows program. It's either going to be down here in the bottom right. When you click on the little caret there, you'll see it here. It'll look like Google Drive icon. I don't have it here, so instead I'm going to go to my Windows area and I'm going to do a search by just typing in Drive, and there it is, Google Drive. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. These are the steps that you're going to want to do the first time to get it to start backing up certain files, and then from now on you might just want to check to make sure it's backing up every once in a while. Okay, so it wants us to sign in the browser so it knows which account to use. So here I will select my .org account, and I want to sign in so that my Google Drive for desktop and my Google Drive online sync. So I'm going to sign in, and it's told me that it was successfully signed in so that I could close this window and return to the drive. So I'm going to close that, and I'm going to look for that Google Drive again so that I could go in there into the preferences, and here it is. So I need to tell it what to back up. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in one more time. There's that account, so I want to sign in. And now I want to start telling it what folders to start backing up. So I'm going to click on Check Folders. And it looks like it's going to back up my desktop, my documents, and my pictures. You may get this, or it may have a screen where it's asking you which ones to start backing up. And I'll show you where to find those here in a minute. I had backup and sync on my machine already, the old version, so it's pulling in those 3 items already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you where to find those backup and sync folders, or the different folders on your computer to back up. So I'm going to minimize that. Okay, after it's finished finding those items, now it's telling me here to go review my settings. So once again, you may get this option, you may not. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Review Settings. And here it's where it's asking you which folders you want to use. Do you want to sync with Google Drive, or do you want to back it up to Google Photos? You always want to sync to your Google Drive. Don't do the photo option. So we're going to stay there and click on Next. And it wants to know if you want to continue going to your Google Drive. So yeah, I'm going to say sync with my drive. There's those 3 folders. Those are the folders that I want for now, so I'm going to say save. Then it wants to know if you want to remove the old backup and sync that you had originally that was backing up your computer. Remember, Google Drive for Windows is the new replacement for backup and sync, so we do want to remove the other one. You won't lose any of your items in Google Drive that were backed up with the old system. It's just going to remove the program from here and start using the new one. So I'm going to say OK to remove it. And it says that you're ready to use Google Drive for Desktop, Open Drive for Desktop. So I'm going to go ahead and click Open Drive for Desktop. And here's where I have preferences. I'm going to go ahead and click on those preferences. If you notice, that item is now down at the bottom of my computer. So here's a tour. I'm going to go ahead and just say no thanks for now. So here's where I have my desktop that's being backed up, everything that's on my desktop as far as my files, everything that's my documents in the document folder is being backed up, and everything that's in my pictures. If I wanted to add a new folder, I'd hit add folder. And at that point, I would go decide what folder I want backed up. So like, let's say I want my music folder to be backed up on my computer to my Google Drive. So I would click on music folder. Then I could go deeper and pick a different folder within that music folder, or I could just say all folders and items that are inside that music folder. So I'm going to just say all of them, and I'm going to say select folder. And once again, I want it going to my Google Drive, not to my photos. So I'm going to say, leave it at the top and say done. And now I'm backing up my desktop, my documents, pictures, and my music as well. So at that point, I would hit save. One thing I do want to go over here is how it's backing these up and where they're being seen. So I'm going to go Google Drive here where it shows, because this is my backup for my computer. I want to go see what's being backed up from my Google Drive. I do need to make those changes, so I went ahead and hit save. Now I'll go into my Google Drive. So I'm going to have two options of where my Google Drive items are. I could either just stream my files or mirror my files, and we'll talk about those here in a minute as we get in there. Okay, so your two options are to stream your files or mirror my files. If you stream your files, it says store all my Drive files in the cloud only. So that's your Google Drive files that are online, that you own those Google Drive items, whether they're Google Docs, Google Slides, or maybe some images or videos that you've saved in your Drive. It's saying that if you pick this option, you're going to store them only online and they won't be on your taking up space on your computer. You could access them from the virtual drive on your computer, where it's just showing you what's on in your Google Drive, but you're not actually storing them on your computer, like I said. Or the second choice would be to mirror those, where it stores all your My Drive items in the cloud, once again like up here, but it also puts them on your computer. It lets you access those files from your computer, and all files are automatically available offline if you're not online, because they are actually on your computer, not just in the cloud. Just know that these two options, if you're on a desktop and you have plenty of space on that computer, then you could go the mirror option. If you're on a laptop, I would suggest to go the stream file. If you have a lot of items in Google Drive, it will take up a lot of space on that laptop, and it'll make your laptop run really slow, and eventually it'll say that it's out of space and it can't back up your files anymore. So I would really caution that and say to use the stream files only. Now, if you're on a desktop and you have a lot of memory on that computer, then you could mirror. So I'm going to say stream files and then leave it at that. But if I changed it, I would make the save option. So I'm going to close that. So I'm going to show you kind of where those items are once you have set that up. So I'm going to open up a window and I'm going to go to my Google Drive. So I'm going to go to my Google Drive. And in Drive, I should have over here on the left a section called Computers. That's where your backup items are being saved. So if I click on that, I might have either one here or multiple, like I have here, because I've backed up different devices throughout the years. If you only have one, then that's the desktop that you just backed up right now. If you have more than one, you'll have to kind of go in there and see which ones they are and rename them from previous years. So I'm just going to go into my PC, this last one here, open it, and there's the items that were being backed up on that computer: the desktop, the documents, and the pictures. Remember, I did music a couple minutes ago, so I know this is not the right one. So if I go back to computers, I'm going to try this first one. And that's not it either. And this is the one that I just set up a couple minutes ago, because there's my music. So I'm going to go ahead and rename that one. I'm going to go here and click on rename, and I'm going to call this my Lamar desktop. And I might even put the year or room number here, so just so I know what computer over the years has been backed up in this file or this folder. So I'm going to click on OK. So now it's there. And if I go into any of these, let's say if I go into my documents folder, I should start seeing items that were on my computer and now are being backed up to Google Drive so that I have access to them later if my computer crashes, or if I just need access to access those at home when I'm away from my desktop. Because as you notice, I have pictures here, I also have folders, and I can go to any of those files and do work with them as long as I have that program on that computer at home. So once again, these are all your backups, and those will always be there for you as long as you are backing up through that Google Drive for Windows. If you go in here and delete something from here, it will also ask you if you want to delete it from your actual computer. And the same thing on your computer. If you delete something on your computer, it'll delete it here. You might every once in a while get a message asking you if you want to delete it in both places. So that's how you start backing up your computer to your new Google Drive for Windows program. If you have any questions or are having trouble using it, please reach out to your campus DLS or your campus technician if you are getting errors that it is not working.